I've been surfing for 2 years, and I'm here with Elle. She is a professional surfer.
Hey guys, I'm super excited for this. I love social media for this reason of like connecting with people and share what we love most. I think that's the most beautiful part about social media. So I'm very happy that I'm collaborating with Bri here today.
We're going to be looking at some footage of some of my waves, and Elle's going to be kind of giving me some advice and kind of coaching me a little bit on my waves. And Elle, you've been surfing for how long?
Been surfing for probably 10 to 15 years, I guess. That's crazy to sound. That makes me
awesome.
feel so old.
And you also have your coaching girls trip that you're doing next year, right?
Yeah, so I have 2 retreats in the books that I'm co-hosting with Saltwater Surf, and that was exactly what I needed, because I've always wanted to do something like this, but I needed some resources. And so Saltwater Surf kind of provides the housing and the food and everything that you need. And then there's me that comes with, I bring the people that want to come and learn from me, and I want to share those experiences that I've had, because they change your life. And 2, I have like a beginner intermediate retreat, and then I'm going to have a more advanced retreat with like video analysis, which is at Playa Colorado. It's like the place with very consistent good waves all the time. And it's not only a girls trip, it's open to everybody. But I do have a potential all girls Mentawise boat trip, coaching trip in hopefully end of summer 2023. That needs to be confirmed, but that's a place that like changed my life with surfing. So
awesome. That sounds like so much fun. I hope I can join you on one of those trips next year.
I would love to, because I think I was telling you before that you and your level is like so much fun, because there's so much room to grow. Once you learn how to catch waves by yourself and like catch a lot of waves, you have so much room for growth. It's all about repetition. So once you're able to get waves, then you can progress very quickly with the right resources, the right waves, the right tools. What do you feel like is like the main thing that you want to work on with your surfing right now?
So first of all, I've never thought my pop-up was very fast. I don't think it's fast enough, especially if I were to go somewhere else and the wave broke faster. I really don't think that it's quick enough at all. And then a second thing is just like, I try to do turns, but like, I don't really know how exactly. And like people like try to give me advice, and it's just, I need to know how to do it, because I try, and it's just, I think my form is off. I think there's a lot of things wrong.
Like as much as someone can tell you, like you need to drive down when you do this or this and that, like until you actually do it, the two don't really connect. So yeah, it's a lot of repetition, and obviously taking advice still helps a ton, because there is little tweaks and like technique and stuff that can be game changers. But yeah, don't get discouraged by that, because that is something that constantly happens. Like, so like, oh, you just have to do this, but it clicks eventually. So do you have any, it's good that you have video as well, because that always helps.
Yeah, I do. I have a couple clips. So, okay, here we go.
Okay, so you're generating some speed, which is really good. Yeah, okay, one, I really like that you've transitioned to like a shorter board and everything. Like, I don't know what boards you've ridden before, but you definitely should be on like a board that's going to help you progress, which looks like you are.
Yeah, this board is a 6'8" Santa Cruz pumpkin seed board.
Okay. Is that what you always surf, or what else do you have?
No, I have a 6'10" Lost surfboard. It's 42 liters. So that's what I like started out on last year. And then I moved to this one because I thought the other one was kind of too big when I was trying to make turns.
Yeah. Okay, so play this one again and kind of try to stop it when you're like directly in front of the camera if you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so how far away from the tail is your foot?
I think it's kind of far up. I think it is.
So, yeah, so if it's further up, it will be a little bit harder to turn, because typically like the tail of the board, I don't know if you can see me right now because I don't see myself. But, okay. So the tail of the board, typically like on the rails on the back, they'll have more of an edge. Like if you feel the board, it'll feel like it has an edge, whereas as you make it to the center of the board, it'll just be kind of like more rounded around the rails. So that edge on the tail is where you kind of grab the wave. So if you slide your back foot back more and like use your toes and your heels, you can catch that edge, and that's what'll put the rail in the water to turn. But if you're just in the center of the board, like imagine trying to turn your carver with like your feet like up at the nose.
Yeah.
Like, or on the trucks, like
right.
It wouldn't.
Right.
So, but the good thing is about this is like the most important thing you need for surfing is your speed. So you're generating speed really well. The only thing I would try to start to do, play this from the beginning again. Okay, so right here, while you're like getting speed, you should be passing this section because it's like, it's breaking. But as you're right here, I would probably start to go down and bottom turn to try to hit what's on the left side of the screen right now. Okay. So like, you want to get speed where the wave is standing, but if you keep playing the clip, you'll notice you go like way too far out.
Like I pass the wave pretty much.
Exactly. Like you want to, like, it's good that you're generating speed, but you also want to go with the pace of the wave. So like the fact that you kind of outrun the section almost.
Yeah, that is what I do. That's what my boyfriend also said.
Yeah, that can be difficult. Like if you're having trouble turning the board, but I would almost like try to, if you're confident with like where you're taking off on the wave, right as you take off, maybe take one pump like up higher on the wave, and then like to start out with some speed, and then you go down and like bottom turn and try to utilize like what the wave's giving you. Okay. You can go again for this one, and then we can probably go to the next clip, but I want to see this one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, so up there, you kind of, so you're kind of going up the face. You're going up and down the face, and you're going to do these little turns. Like once you get out, you're just kind of far out
right
on the shoulder. But the idea is there, and you're going up and down, which is really good. But most people just like stomp on the board like a Huntington hop. You're like you're going up and down the face, which is really good. That's what we want.
Okay. Also, someone said that I was like a little bit too bent. Like they were trying to tell me I should be like standing up straighter. What do you think about that? Okay.
Want to be lower. Like I am a hypocrite, like telling people to squat, like be lower to the board, because I am not low enough to the board typically. Being lower, like your lower center of gravity, helps a lot more. And so like on this part, you're at a really good spot on the wave, but I think it might help as well if you open your front arm more, you open your shoulder. Mm-hmm. So go up the face, and then your front arm should like kind of guide where you want to go. So if your shoulder is always facing like the face of the wave, you're never going to be able to utilize this bottom half of the wave. So you kind of want to think about your shoulders and your arm directing your whole wave. So you want to like go up the face, and then when you come back down, you need to like open your shoulders down so that you can come all the way back around. It's easier like said than done if you're struggling to turn, but I think you could really benefit because like I said, you have such a good foundation. You're getting speed. You look comfortable on the board. So it's just kind of about maybe manipulating where your feet are, and learning how to like drive from the bottom turn. Because what you'll notice is like if you do shift your feet back, you'll probably kind of feel like you're like sluggish. Yeah. So balance of like being on the back but having enough weight on the front foot to keep that speed, but the foot on the back so that you can turn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Okay, so keep going for this one, and then let's see else then. That's a fun way. Is that 4 miles?
No, this is at the lane.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a nice day at the lane.
Yeah, South Swell in the summer.
Oh, nice.
Here's the next one. Oh, I hate everybody's talking in it. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna turn their voice down. So this one is on my bigger board. So this is a 6'10", 42 liter board, and this shows my pop-up. This is how I pop up like pretty much every time.
Okay, so you stand on your back foot first. Some people do that.
Yeah, so, and it's kind of slow, as you can tell. It's not like I'm fast. I'm kind of just like slowly pushing up, and I don't even think I have any of the hip rotation or anything there.
So for starters, it looks, good. Like you're confident you're paddling enough. Like the biggest problem is people don't paddle enough. They stand up too early or they stand up too late and stuff. I don't think this is a huge issue. I think like how you're saying though, it shifts your weight forward on the board more. That's like something that you could just be subconsciously aware of or be consciously aware of. Like when you pop up with that back foot first, you might have to shift it back before you like bottom turn.
Okay.
But I don't think, like, I honestly don't think it's bad. I've seen a ton of different styles of popping up. Whatever gets you to your feet is gonna get you to your feet. What matters more is what you do as soon as you're at your feet. So like I said, as soon as you get to your feet, taking one pump up the face to get speed. But speed and all that like doesn't seem like an issue for you. Okay. And I do think maybe if you were on a shorter board, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
Okay, yeah. I think maybe if you did get a smaller board that would allow you to like progress more but wasn't too small, that would maybe like, because if you imagine if you have so much board in front of you, it's easier to stand farther up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had less in front of you, maybe that would fix your.
That's true. My feet place.
Yeah. Exactly. And I kind of have a funky pop-up too. Like my hips go really high. Okay. I said I'm not always as low to the board as I would like. And if you watch some like the best surfers, they're really compact and low to the board, like Julian Wilson, Mick Fanning, like people like that. If you watch them when they're bottom turning, and even when they pop up, they're almost like completely squatted. There's a lot of flex and extension of their legs. I need to do more of that too. But so the way I pop up is a little bit funky too. So I don't think, and like in terms of quickness of a pop up, that's also going to come with practice on like quicker, steeper waves.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad, honestly, when I watch it.
Okay. Thank you. So maybe like if I'm still using this board or the other one, do you think when I pop up, maybe I should just shuffle my feet back to more on the wheel?
I would try to get used to that because that will also help you learn how to turn the board more. It might feel a little like funky at the start because you're so used to having the stability of your feet like in the middle of the board. Mm-hmm. But I think if you kind of play around with it, you'll get to like feel that more freeness of the board. I don't know the exact shape of these boards, but they look pretty much like short boards, just bigger.
Yeah.
So you should be able to turn them and like manipulate them if you have your feet further back. So I would definitely play around with that. Like I said, gonna feel weird at the start.
And then so if I did move on to a smaller board, what size do you think you would recommend for me?
If you're 5'6" and you wanted to get a more like, so for me, I'm 5'4" and I ride 5'9s because like surfing in Portugal and like most of the waves that I end up, but I even surf 5'9s when I'm here in California. I just personally like to have a little bit more rail and like a little bit more board in front of me. Growing up, people my age were riding like my size were riding like 5'2s and like everyone board, the better you are. It's like, that's bullshit. You could probably go for like a 5'10 and 32-ish liters. Something with a good amount of volume, more like volume carried up through the nose so that you have, because like the more rail and the more volume you have at the front of the nose, the easier it is to catch waves. And like you have that like weight of your chest when you're paddling in. If you have more board up there, it's easier to catch waves. So you definitely want to be mindful to not go too small that you like hinder your like wave count. So if you start playing around with your foot more on the tail and like how you turn, you'll probably start to feel a difference between the two tails. Like it being in California, I always ride a squash tail. It's for like mushier waves. Okay. You have a little more tail in the water to like push, and like a pintail has a lot more drive and it is for more hollow waves. So like I'll notice with my pintail when I do turns, it's really like whippy and responsive in the pocket. So like And then versus a squash tail, I can push more and it's a bit like slower in the pocket, but not in a bad way. Like if the wave is really fast, you would want a pintail to like transition out of your turns really quickly. Okay. But maybe be something you'll feel if you start to play around with your back foot on the tail more. Okay. I feel like the stability of a squash tail as you start to do turns might be better because, like I said, a pintail can be really whippy, and like release when you're starting to learn to do turns can be difficult. But yeah, I feel like 5-10, solid amount of volume, with some volume in the nose and like a thruster, like a thumb tail or a squash tail. Okay. But yeah, I would play around with the foot placement first and see how it feels and like try to get some film and just honestly focus on your bottom turn. Like everyone focuses on the actual turn, but if you don't have a good bottom turn, like you're not going to have a good turn. The bottom turn is setting up everything. Okay. So the more you practice the bottom turn, like I want you to pop up, take one pump and then go down and get really low to the board. Like I'm gonna send you a screenshot. So this photo, can you see it?
It's loading. Oh, there we go. Yep,
okay.
I can see that.
So see how low he is first off? Like,
yeah, oh my gosh,
a foot low, and the board is completely on rail. It's almost like fully buried up to the nose. So with a bottom turn, like your turn that you do is only going to be as good as your bottom turn. So that's what I think is best for you to practice first, is like going up the face, and as you press down, like almost go towards the beach, and then try to just get like practice just getting your inside rail down. Even if you don't do a turn, practice getting the rail down and then like maybe come back up to level and then do it again. So almost what you were doing in that first clip you showed me, but like going lower on the wave, and moving. And if your feet are back more, you might start to feel that drive. And like what you'll notice is when you do a good bottom turn and your foot's in the right place, you're pressing, you'll actually get speed out of it. So instead of just leaning, you'll drive like forward.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the best thing to practice would be your bottom turn, because like I said, everyone's so focused on the actual top turn, when if you're not doing a bottom turn, your top turns are always going to be flat and they're not gonna.
Yeah, like, that's true. Cause I never think about doing a bottom turn. I don't, like, I've never thought about it before.
Yeah, because we're so focused on like, oh my god, am I gonna make this section, or like the lip is right here, what do I do?
Yeah,
where going away will allow you to come, like if you see or if you watch any pro surfer surf like Jave, they'll start their bottom turn and like there's complete white water, like they're bottom turning and it's all white water, but somehow they drive all the way around the white water and they hit it perfectly, right?
That's true.
I'm still like practicing that too, like getting a low enough to my board and getting enough speed to drive forward and get all the way around the section and hit the wave where you want to hit it. So if you're not bottom turning, it's like you might as well not even try to do a turn. Right. You just do the whole wave and like outrun it, which at a point break can be hard, especially like when you get a wave, you don't want it to like close out on you. So you're like racing all the time. But that's where you can like practice and get in rhythm with a wave. And surfing a point break with so much repetition and so many opportunities to like get lower. Like I notice when I surf point breaks, I'll bottom turn. I'll do one turn that's like kind of safe. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it. I'll do another one. And I'm like, oh, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. And you keep going. And that's the fun of surfing a point break. It's like so much repetition, but you also don't want to push too hard, because if you fall in the first section, you like miss
the whole thing. I know. I think I get so excited when I'm on it. I'm just like, okay, go. And I'm not even thinking, I'm like, what am I doing? You know, I need to like slow down.
That's all you should think about is like just your bottom turn. So like every time you get up, just try to go lower and bottom turn, like bottom turn, come up, and then just like mimic what you did in that first clip, but like think bigger, just like higher on the wave, lower on the wave, higher on the wave, lower on the wave. And as you do that, you'll find yourself like in the timing of the wave sometimes, that when you come down, you're like, oh, this is a perfect section to hit it. And then you can start working on like the actual top turn and all that. But the bottom turn is going to be super important. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. This was so awesome. And I feel like I gained so much like knowledge from you. And I'm like so excited to go out next. We're like, okay, I'm gonna like think about everything she said and like hopefully just practice. You know?
Yay, that makes me so happy. I'm so excited. And if you want, like, if you get any more clips or something, if you have questions, like, you can always send them to me.
Yeah, no, you can expect that. I'll be sending you some more clips.
I can't wait to see your progression.
Thank you. I know, and hopefully we can meet in person soon. So if you ever come up to Santa Cruz this year or whatever, like please let me know. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe maybe right after the contest or like in December, if there's a little swell, I'll jump on a plane. It's not too far.
There'll be some swell, I bet.
Yeah, I think so too.